Hey everybody. By now I think many of you know that that our son Ben passed away. He On June 14th, Friday evening, he was with some friends. They were just out doing boy stuff, and they had an accident out there, vehicle accident, and Ben was killed in the incident. It's been a few, it's been a rough few days after recording this video. It's been 4 or 5 days now. We've had a lot of stuff going on in our lives, our families. I've made several attempts to make this video, and some might think that making the video wasn't important. Um, Sharing this information wasn't important, but I've been on YouTube for about 10 years now. Been a knife maker now. This is my 10th year. Many of you that have been following the channel know that Ben, Ella, Akasha, they've been a big part in not only CK Knife and Tool, but in YouTube. And many of you have become part of that family. A few years back, I made the slogan for the company, and people like, oh, you gotta have this, you have a maker's mark, you have to have a brand, your logo, and then you have to have a slogan, something, some people say something catchy, something interesting, something funny or whatever. And after making knives for about 6, 7 years, I had come to realize that not just my company and my family, but the people that were knife customers, we had something somewhat special. And so the slogan, making knives, friends, and memories, wasn't just something marketing or gimmicky. It was actually a true thing. And there's hundreds of you that have become friends. Many of you call, text, email. You take time out of your lives just to comment on a video or send me a message or an email. Some might think it's frivolous or not important. Others think, oh, I'm not going to do it. He won't read it. I read them. Sometimes I don't respond to all of them, but I read them. And I wanted to show my appreciation for all of that. And to all of you, Ben was sometimes shy on the camera, sometimes just didn't want to be on camera. And other times he was just so caught up in stuff and having fun. And yeah, he didn't mind building the shop and working on knives. My family last night, we were watching more videos. Just Ben doing stuff when he made John's knife, his Montana, when Ben made his first knife for himself with me. We were doing Ella and Ben are doing the rabbits and the chickens when we lived in Washington, or when we archery shot, or when we went to Michigan and we went to the adventure mines, and we just traveled a little bit. Joshua's men. We had so many memories in there, and going back, even if it was just for a few minutes, Ben was in so many of my videos. Teasing me, hiding behind the scenes, cracking jokes, or doing stuff in the shop, like turning on the wood lathe when we're trying to all learn what to do, and making leather projects. He was so good at leather stitching, or the tooling. Yeah, so we were sitting with family. You sitting with family yesterday, watching all that, and I talked to Ella about doing this video, and she said yes, we'll do this. I can't say her part's easier than mine because she's going to have to edit this and then pick the photos and music. And I wanted to make sure that she picked the music. She has such good taste with that. But we were sitting back on Saturday, Friday night, I think Saturday morning, something like that. And we were watching, just Kasha and Ella and I were watching some videos with Ben in them and the family videos that I have here on the channel. And she said, I'm so happy we made these videos because you go back and watch them. And for me, it's even more important because I know the family that I have with you all, and you know who you are. And so Kasha and Ella and I decided this would be really cool to do this. And Ella said, yeah, without hesitation. So I just wanted to do this video for Ben. And all of you that have showed all the love and support these years. John Stearns, Tony Patey, Jonathan Luce, Greg Miller, Rui Fidalgo, Nate Zoinks, Colin and Mark Bate, so many others. Thank you. Thank you for everything. This Friday, as you're watching this video, we're going to have our memorial for Ben at our church. Once we get everything sorted out, I'll try to leave something down below. You can see that as well, maybe. But I just wanted to say thank you to everybody and for all the support these last few days, of the youth that are on Instagram and Facebook and have seen some of our postings and everything. Thank you for all of that. So this is June. I'm recording this on June 19th, so it's June 21st. Friday is when you're watching this video. June 21st, 2024. Yeah, it was. Lastly, I don't know if Ben wasn't alone during this incident, this time. He had two friends with him. And those boys, I can't imagine what it would be like to be 18 years old and have to be through this. I was in my 20s and 30s when I was in law enforcement and had seen and experienced a lot of things that weren't really great. I've talked to people and had to, when their children, were no longer with us. I also want to do this because I don't know if they're going to come today, Friday, to the ceremony or not, how they feel about all this. But I just wanted to put it out here so for everybody else can see, whoever watches this, my family, my wife, Kasha, my daughter Ella, myself, we have no ill will towards anybody. This was an accident. The roles could be reversed. And I wanted to convey to if the family ever sees this, or if anybody sees this that knows that family that's been involved in this, that my wife and my daughter and I, we have no hate or anger towards the boys that are involved in this. They're just a bunch of 18 and 19-year-old young men, and stuff happens. We all have a set time. It's all part of it. Ben has left such a positive influence on so many people, his peers and folks my age, that the amount of outreach we've had from the community here in Gillette, Wyoming has just been amazing. But I want to make sure everybody realizes if anybody was going to be angry at the boys, it would be us, and we're not. I feel bad for these young men. They have a lot to carry with the rest of their lives, and we're not going to add to that. We wanted to make sure that these boys knew, these young men knew that it was an accident, it happened, and that don't let this define who you are per se. Just you learn from it, but we move on, and that nobody should be thinking ill of these two young men and any type of involvement they might have had in the death of Ben. Ben was, in our eyes, probably just as responsible, just as careless, just as carefree as those two boys were. They were doing stuff they loved to do. They were enjoying each other's company. They were just doing boy stuff, and it was just an accident that happened. And many people might think that, how could you say that or do stuff? But nowadays, these young men and women, they have, it seems like there's so many other burdens that they're carrying that some of us just don't understand. And there's nothing that I as a parent, or you as a parent, if this happened to you, could ever do to somebody else. Your child is not coming back. And our goal is not just to remember Ben and all the good that he did and all the knucklehead stuff that he was, and a goofball that he could be, but also remember that there's other people's lives that are involved in all this, and you don't want, if you want this to define them, you want it to leave them with some type of positivity and know that everybody makes mistakes, everybody has problems, and that as adults we shouldn't be burying and burdening them so much. And I hope this makes sense to some folks, but I just wanted to say that in closing, that these young men, my family has no anger towards them. We were angry, and we still are at this moment, at this situation. Who wouldn't be, that their child is gone, that their son or their daughter is gone? But it is not directed towards those boys, their families, or anybody else. And I felt that would probably be important to say and put it out here, because I think a lot of people, they might be worried or concerned about things like that, even if it's a different family in a situation. I don't think it's our place to do that kind of thing. So with that said, thank you all again. I'm going to leave you in closing. If you don't do anything, maybe just watch the video, and maybe some of the pictures or maybe some things will just, strike a nerve with you, or just inspire you, or just show support to us. And I thank you. I appreciate it.